finding peace in doing things alone. So I just had dinner, and there's a bubble tea spot that opened close to my house, and I just thought that it would be nice to go on a walk by myself. It's snowing out, so it's nice and vibey outside, and I right now don't have anybody to go with. I have nobody to go with, and there's a peace that we need to find in doing things by ourselves. Even if we have friends, a lot of people don't have any real close friends, and we need to be comfortable, and we need to find peace in being able to do things by ourselves, being able to do things alone. I feel like a lot of people, they don't want to do things alone. They feel like if they do things by themselves, if they're seen in public doing something alone, then they're seen as like a loser or somebody who has no friends. And yeah, that may be the case. You may not have friends, but just because you have no friends, it doesn't mean that you're a loser. It doesn't mean that nobody likes you. From a young age, I've always been a person who I'm always myself. I don't really care who likes me and who doesn't. And I know that a lot of people find that hard to do. A lot of people find it hard to be themselves and to be lonely in a room full of people. I remember mentioning this one time before, but one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten, I remember in school, nearing the end of the semester, somebody told me that they really respect me because I was always by myself. I was always by myself until I found people who I actually liked and people who actually liked me. I didn't try to fit in. I didn't try to be somebody else. And I found people who genuinely cared for me, genuinely liked me for who I was. And we have to be okay with being by ourselves. I would sit by myself in class. I wouldn't look to someone directly when we had a group project. I would just find somebody who was partnerless. And I feel like a lot of us, we don't want to be that person. We don't want to be that person who has no partner in class. We don't want to be that person who sits by themselves at lunch. We want to be all in the mix. We want to always have people around us, even though the people around us may not be people who care about us. It's better to be in a room with one by yourself than in a room full of people who don't care about you. We have to be okay with being alone. There's a peace in doing things by yourself, because at the end of the day, it's just you. You can have all these friends in the world, but at the end of the day, it's always you by yourself. People won't always be there for you, and that's something that we need to accept. We need to accept that it doesn't matter how many people we have in our lives, how many people are surrounded by us, it's just you. And we need to find peace in doing things by ourselves. Right now, I'm just outside of the bubble tea spot. It's actually super close to my house, and this is a really nice spot. It's nice lighting. You can really see the snow, and I don't know, just being at peace with where you are, who you are. I feel a lot of people, we don't want to be by ourselves because we don't want to be seen as like weird or a loser. We don't want to be seen as somebody who has no friends. And we have to be okay with that. Finding peace by doing things by yourself. Going on solo adventures, solo walks, doing things by yourself. Stop thinking that you're a loser because you have no friends. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. If you're liked by everybody, it means you're not truly yourself, because you're not going to be liked by everybody, and that's the reality of it. People won't like you. Everybody's not going to like you, and that's okay. So I just got my boba now. I got a brown sugar roasted milk tea. It's one of my go-to ones, and it was actually pretty busy in there. It was pretty busy, and I looked around and I was the only person who was by myself. Everybody else had people around them and they were with another person. I was the only person who was alone. And for a second I was like, oh, I kind of wish there were other people here with me, but there's a confidence in doing things by yourself. We have to be able to do things by ourselves. There's a peace in doing things by yourself, because I know that if we always do things with other people, we always have to run on another person's schedule. We always have to accommodate to other people, and we can't do what we want to do. We can't go to the places we want to go to. We can't spend as much time or do the things that we genuinely want to do. Yes, it's a privilege and it's nice to have to accommodate to people. You want to accommodate to people in your life, but also understand that we can't always do that. We have to be okay, and we have to find peace in doing things by ourselves. Just because we have nobody in our lives, just because we have no real, genuine friends, doesn't mean that we won't ever get to that place. We have nobody that we can do certain things with. It doesn't mean that we're bad people. You won't be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. You have to be you. You have to stay you until you find those people. We can't switch and be somebody that we're not. We can't fake being another person just so other people will like us. We have to learn to enjoy our own presence. If we can't enjoy being by ourselves, we can't enjoy us with ourselves, we can't be with ourselves, then we're never actually going to be happy unless we're with people, unless we surround ourselves with people. For the longest time, I always found it hard to be with myself. I always found it hard to be alone. But eventually, throughout the years, I understood that through being by myself, through solitude and finding peace in doing things by myself is when you make the most progress. Because it's hard to find like-minded people. It's hard to find people who are on the same path as you. And if you always wait for people in your life, you're never gonna get to the places that you want to be. You want to get in shape. You want to go to the gym every single day. You and one of your friends are like, yeah, we're gonna go every day together. But that person, they never show up. They never want to go to the gym, and you're like, they're not going, I'm not going to go. But you have to be okay with doing things by yourself, chasing after things by yourself. It's okay and it's good to be alone. But I feel like we can't glorify always being by ourselves. We can't always glorify, oh yeah, I'm alone, I have no friends, I'm the best, whatever, I don't need anybody. You need people in your life. That's just the reality. You need people. Stop glorifying it. Stop thinking that you don't need anybody, but also understanding that you need to be okay with being by yourself. There's going to be seasons in your life where there's nobody around. There's nobody around, and you need to find peace in that. Sometimes having people around will just slow you down. Having people around will just make you and form you into a person that you're not. You are who you surround yourself with, and if you surround yourself with bad people, then you become a bad person. Don't surround yourself with bad people, lazy people, because you don't want to be by yourself. You don't want to be alone. And there's a difference between being lonely and being alone. You can be physically alone, but you can feel lonely in a room full of people. Sometimes being alone, being by yourself, you feel more like yourself than you would ever with other people. It's easy to be yourself when you're by yourself, but it's hard to be yourself when you're in a room full of people who don't actually know you, who don't actually care about you. I always found it weird to go out to eat by myself. I always found it weird to go out and do things by myself. But there's a peace in doing that. There's a confidence in doing that. There's this one restaurant that I love going to by myself. I know the order. I don't need a menu. I sit down. I'm like, can I grab this? I don't even need to look. And there's a peace in just sitting there by yourself, enjoying what you want to do, enjoying where you want to go with yourself. You don't need to talk to anybody. You don't need to fill any awkward silence. You don't need to perform. You don't need to be anything for anybody but yourself. You have to be there for you. And there's a peace in doing that. Finding peace in doing things alone.